Nintendo teased a horror game seemingly being made in-house at Nintendo, not from an external team, not from like a second party. This seems to be being made by Nintendo themselves. So the trailer ended with some Japanese symbols, right?
I think it says like the smiling man or
Yeah,
something like that.
the translation was smiling man. And apparently the Japanese trailer has like a couple different smiling faces, and the imagery they put out is just really creepy. It's just this like creepy figure with a paper bag on their over their head, and it's just this like Sharpie smiling face. And so I don't know. This was a really strange thing to see on Nintendo's Twitter feed that morning. Um,
And and to let everybody know, and if you haven't seen the trailer, do go watch the trailer. The man is in. He looks kind of like a detective ghost or something because he looked like he got like on a not so much of a business suit, but the coat that he's wearing is kind of a coat that looks like it would be in a detective game, like an old Nord like style detective game. And he's I believe he has like a white tie or in a white dress shirt. And when you look at it, it looks creepy because of the music that's playing. And this is a first for Nintendo. Just to let everybody know, this is Nintendo's first M-rated game,
yeah,
like
this is creepier
in-house
than
M-rated game.
so. Yeah,
And,
so I mean, well, it's not their first. I mean, Eternal Darkness is theirs,
but
right?
like you
But like,
said, right? But that was Silicon Knights. That wasn't
yeah,
and that wasn't like you said. No one second party, no one external. Silicon Knights was external. You know, they were
yeah,
like out. So, but for Nintendo themselves, like this is for America at least, this is their first M-rated game.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
for it.
So the first of all, the Twitter account is just the trailer slash image slash whatever it is, right? With the hashtag who is Emio. It's EMIO. Who is Emio? And um some people thought that this might be Bloober Team's Nintendo horror game that they're making called Project M.
Mm-hmm.
Um and it seems, but it also seems to not be, because a lot of this is like they're really promoting it way different in Japan than they are here.
And plus, Bloober Team is working on Silent Hill 2 with
Yeah, but
Konami.
they have 3 games in development. Um so but yeah, I mean this is like this is just so strange and creepy and
I
very
don't think
it's very un-Nintendo. Like it's just very this seems like something like like Resident Evil would put out to promote
mm.
whatever's next, right? It does not. This is very un-Nintendo.
I I think well, and this is kind of what led to our Fredo frame discussion. Is because I know Nintendo. When we was talking Corey or texting, I thought Nintendo had stake in the Fatal Frame, like some kind of stock in it. Like they didn't publicly own it, but but with the games that they released exclusively on Nintendo, I thought Nintendo had some money investment in the series of Fatal Frame. So I'm thinking that hey, this is I didn't know at first at the time of seeing the trailer. I thought it could be something Fatal Frame related, and Nintendo was working with Koei Tecmo on this game. What I didn't know at the time was that it was in house.
Mm-hmm.
So I at that point when I found out it was in house, then I was just like, oh, this is definitely then a new IP, a new direction for Nintendo to put out a M-rated game. And for people, why it's going to be M-rated, there are some drugs, some drugs to suggestions, suicide, and some other things that will make it like M-rated and everything. So there
which
is
surprises
murder.
me because
Okay.
suicide is kind of like a big no-no in Japan, right? I mean, that's like
Hmm.
because there's the I forget what it's called, that like forest at the foot of the mountain, right? That a lot of people go to like commit suicide, right? And
Yeah.
so that's kind of like a big no-no topic in Japan. So for Nintendo to be tapping into that subject too is like, man, that's creepy. Although it might be like a murder mystery thing, right? Where like it looks
Yeah.
like, you know, one thing, but might actually be like a homicide or something
Yeah.
that you
And
have to figure out. And maybe that deals with the supernatural or this paper bag man or whatever.
right.
So
And I know people would say Conker's Bad Fur Day, but that was rare as an
also, it
M-rated
was a
game.
cartoon and more like South Park, not horror, right?
Right. So it's really interesting on where they're gonna go with this. We don't There's no release date, there's no gameplay. I think it's cool that Nintendo did this because this wasn't
You know where
this
we see this? You know where I bet we see this? Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt.
oh go ahead. No, go.
Tokyo Game Show. I bet
You
we see
think
it there.
Nintendo's participating?
They might be. I mean, they might not be, but they might be.
That would be interesting.
I mean, if it's in house and like this is their big horror franchise, or like you know what I mean, like maybe they have a Nintendo Direct before Tokyo Game Show and they show it off there, right? Like there's a lot
Hmm.
of possibilities, but this seems this seems I don't know, this seems really bold for them.
I was about to say the same thing. I think it's cool. It's both for the, and I think it gets people talking because right now it's a new IP for Nintendo, and to go in this direction, you can actually say, well, now all the first party systems got a M-rated game that was in house. Um, you know,
Sure,
so
but
it's. I mean, for some people, like I I consider Santa Monica like for Sony. I consider that as in house
well,
because
yeah, it is. No, but I
right.
mean like but so Sony is known for M-rated games and like
Hmm.
I mean Xbox kind of is too. I mean Gears and
Gears,
Fable and I mean
yeah,
they have a lot of stuff like that. So I mean it's not uncommon for them to have it. It's uncommon
right,
for Nintendo. I mean the most M-rated thing we've gotten from Nintendo is Eternal Darkness and Bayonetta, right?
yeah.
Neither of which are like theirs. I mean Eternal Darkness technically, I guess, but like not theirs. So I don't know. This is weird. This is strange. This is like it's super intriguing. I want to know more, but I'm probably not going to play it because it looks like something that I would stay away from 1,000%.
Well, I definitely am going to buy it. I'm
Well, you
definitely
are.
going to play this, because they could go so many routes with this. Like this could be a visual novel game if they want to, or this could be a murder mystery, um, action style game. It could be Eternal Darkness elements input into this game, with it, but we just don't know yet, with this. And from the looks of it, Emio could be the villain of the game, could be the murderer or whatever, or it could be a ghost, and we have to figure out who it is. Like Nintendo could be actually going somewhere. We might actually get like voice acting from a Nintendo game. Like um and I don't know who the voice actors would be, but if this is, I won't say a new direction for Nintendo, but if it's going to be a new IP and everybody's complaining that Nintendo doesn't have this and that, and this is becomes the game to show them that they can do it, it's going to be very interesting what people are going to say. Because right now, if people are very intrigued, I think this game as a new IP could hit like three at least 300,000 or 500,000, and it really could show that the Switch is, of course, is still living. It still got games coming, but I think there's still something about to say that, yeah, Switch 2 successor it's going to be in later on in the year of 2025 or close to 2026. It could be really pushing still a lot of games and stuff that we don't know and everything.
Yeah, it's gonna be fascinating to see what Nintendo continues to do with this, because it's very different for them.
It and Nintendo was smart to do this, because I think if they would have put this in a Nintendo Direct, I really think it could have messed up the flow of what
This
they have
this
been.
wouldn't fit in a Nintendo Direct, I feel like.
Mhm.
Like I really feel like this would not have fit in a Nintendo Direct. Um just because of how weird it is, right? So
Yeah.
um
So
but yeah, this was a big surprise from Nintendo. Interested to learn more. Probably will not. If you want to see how you can become a Patreon producer, head on over to patreon.com/BossRushNetwork. The Patreon producers for this month are Adriel Munger, Austin Campbell, Celeste Roberts, Christian S., Sana Dierig, Francisco Santillan, Matthew Keel, and Todd Oxtra. Thanks for your continued support of the Boss Rush Network.